Welcome to another episode of Game Boy Roulette, where we take a look at randomly chosen games from the Game Boy library. Race Drivin, or if it happened in the past, Race Drivin. After last week's rabbit hole that was Roadsters, we have another racing game with thankfully a much more straightforward story. In 1990, right in the midst of a major recovery for arcades, following a period of cooling off due to a variety of factors, Atari released an arcade game called Race Drivin. The sequel to the game Hard Drivin', both games had something in common, something that rocked the world to its very core: polygons. Yes, the era of fundamental 3D shapes was upon us, unlocking a whole new world for gaming, one that home console manufacturers were watching closely. So while Race Drivin' wasn't a masterpiece by any means, it certainly stood out and heralded the coming of a whole new gaming era. It was, however, popular enough to get some home console ports. Both the SNES and Sega Genesis got versions, and both had impressive visuals, but unfortunately played so slowly and awkwardly to make up for the advanced graphics that neither were well received. I'm not sure if the Game Boy version is going to attempt 3D, but it does have an interesting advantage: the developer Argonaut Software. You may know them for another 3D game. That's right, they were the developers behind the classic Star Fox, which was one of the most technologically impressive games of its time. So who knows, maybe Race Drivin' was their first showing before they really blew our minds. The cover is a nice shot of someone having a really bad day. Seriously, the car he's in appears to be coming apart at the seams as he plows through debris. Wait, 3D sensation? Oh god, they made a 3D Game Boy game, didn't they? Alright, I'm ready for some 3D action. Keep the motor running for Race Drivin'. Ooh. Always like it when the game starts off with music. Race Drivin'. Oh yeah, THQ was involved in this, weren't they? THQ, a division of THQ. Ah yes. Race Drivin'. And there's Argonaut Software. Alright, let's do some race driving. Ooh. Aren't these? Oh, manual auto, okay. Oh my god, Roadster. I cannot escape Roadsters anymore. That one has flames on the side, so let's go with that. Ooh, 3 of them. Let's do stunt. Yep, that's it. Alright, is this gonna be... Oh boy. Oh god, it's 3D. Wow, hang on. They have actually remade the game, the entire arcade game, on the Game Boy. Oh my gosh, this actually is incredibly impressive, technologically speaking anyway. It is, as you would expect, psychotically slow. Here we go. Okay, loop the loop, there we go. Sonic the Hedgehog, I am not. Yeah, so the thing is, it is technologically impressive. It is a little hard to tell what everything is. Mostly due to everything. Are we gonna make it to the next checkpoint? We only have 5 seconds. No! Oh no, I died. Alright, let's pick another track and another car and another everything. Fine, we'll go with Roadster. Autocross. A nice safe track. I've only been playing a couple minutes, and gameplay-wise, it is definitely... I mean, not great. It is very slow, a little hard to control. The controls are actually pretty sluggish. But I mean, this is probably one of the best attempts at 3D I've ever seen on the Game Boy. Because the Game Boy was extremely limited graphically. I mean, you've seen that. Wait, seriously? I held accelerate the whole time. Yeah, like I said, gameplay-wise, not that good. Oh, manual. I was supposed to shift up, wasn't I? Let's try that again on auto. I've never driven a stick in real life. There we go. Okay, so it's... Wow. It actually even runs pretty well at this speed. Let us visit the barn. Okay. Oh, come on, coast, damn it! Ah. I'm gonna finish one of these races, I tell you what. Oh god, you can tell, like... Concepts like going up and then back down are a big problem for this game. No! Why did you pause? Why did you stop in the middle of the racetrack, man? Fine, I'll go this way then. This isn't the kind of game I'd want to play more of. It's the kind I'd want to study. What? I just want to see, like, what they did to make this work. I believe this game came before Star Fox, so maybe this was like their proof of concept? Because again, this is remarkably impressive. Visually, anyway. Dang it. Again, gameplay-wise, it's honestly in, like, the bottom tier of racing games. It's just, I just want to stare at it lovingly. No! This is so hard to control. I really hope there's a checkpoint up here. What were you doing? Can I finish one race, please? Sportster. Auto. Autocross. Let's do it. I'm gonna do it this time. I'm pretty sure you can count on one hand the number of full-on 3D games on the Game Boy. There were some that attempted, like, faux 3D. There was, like, Bionic Battler, which had more 3D sprites. Cosmo Tank also did the same thing. That's a game I cannot wait to get to. But this is one of the few that actually attempt 3D. And again, graphically, it pulls it off perfectly. It's just the problem is, the whole, is it a fun and exciting game to play? About that. You know what it feels like? It's more of a tech demo than a full-on game. It's more showing off, here's what this system was capable of. Can't wait to see what you guys do next. And from the sounds of things, rather than say, alright, make us another game for the Game Boy. Damn it! They said, here, make us another game for the Super Nintendo. We're going to super stunt. Whoa, oh god. It's fascinating to look at. It's ungodly impressive. Whoa, god. The problem is everything else about it. Oh no. I'm on the checkerboard sand. Like, seriously, I haven't even been able to finish a race yet. I don't think it's due to me not being good at the game. Again, it's just, the game is very, very difficult to control. Uh-oh. Yeah, that's about what I thought was gonna happen. Well, that was absolutely incredible, and awful, all at once. We're gonna have to devote some time to specifically going over why this game was good and why it was bad, because there is no middle ground here. Let's begin with the negative, and it was a big one. The gameplay itself was really bad. Driving was extremely sluggish, the controls were somehow both slippery and too tight at the same time, making it very hard to navigate the track without falling off. And the challenges were surprisingly tight with their timing, making it difficult to actually complete any of the levels. Really, when you look at how the game played, it's basically a laundry list of problems, a perfect point-by-point breakdown on how not to make a racing game. But this is one of the very rare occasions where the presentation makes up for it, because this genuinely might be the most technologically impressive Game Boy game of all time. The fact that there was actual 3D racing gameplay on the Game Boy is completely astounding. Not to mention that while the racing itself was sluggish, the game moved at a surprisingly good pace given the system it was on. It would not surprise me in the least if this game is what convinced Nintendo to give Argonaut Software the ball when it came to a 3D game on the SNES, because if they could do something this impressive on the Game Boy, imagine what they could do with significantly more power. This game doesn't belong in your Game Boy, it belongs in a museum. It's definitely worth playing, although not for the gameplay. While you can get far better racing anywhere else on the system, good luck finding anything else as advanced as this game on the handheld. Wow, 3D in video games. What's next? Color? And that's all for another episode of Game Boy Roulette. Make sure to like the video, comment, and subscribe to follow the series as we continue to dig through the Game Boy vault. I'm BrianJ, and I'll see you next time.